Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, August 24th, 2022. Today, we'll recap yesterday's baseball games, look ahead to today's games. WNBA playoffs, we'll recap last night's Game 3, look ahead to today's Game 3. Little League World Series, we'll recap the games from yesterday, look ahead to today's games. My NFL guard rankings, primary results, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with Major League Baseball. We'll go over the results from last night and yesterday afternoon and look ahead to everything going on today. Cubs over the Cardinals, 2-0 doubleheader, Game 1. Cubs, 53-69. St. Louis, 70-52. Braves over the Pirates, 6-1. Braves, 77-48. Pittsburgh, 47-76. Orioles over the White Sox, 5-3. The Orioles are 64-58. Chicago, 62-61. Phillies over the Reds, 7-6. The Phillies are 68-55. The Reds are 48-73. Yankees over the Mets, 4-2. The Yankees are 76-48. The Mets are 79-46. Rays over the Angels, 11-1. The Rays are 67-55. LA is 52-71. Giants over the Tigers, 3-1. The Giants are 61-61. Detroit 47-77. Blue Jays over the Red Sox, 93. Blue Jays 66-55. Boston 60-63. Cardinals over the Cubs, 13-3. Cardinals 71-52. The Cubs are 53-70. D-backs over the Royals, 7-3. D-backs 56-66. KC 50-75. Astros over the Twins, 4-2. Astros 79-45. Minnesota 62-59. Rockies over the Rangers 7-6. The Rockies are 54-70. Texas 56-67. Guardians over the Padres 2-1. So best bet was a loser. Guardians 65-56. San Diego 68-57. Marlins over the Athletics 5-3. The Marlins are 54-69. Oakland 45-79. Dodgers over the Brewers 10-1. The Dodgers are 85-37. Milwaukee 65-57. And then Mariners over the Nationals 4-2. The Mariners 67-56. Washington 41-83. Now we look ahead to today's games. At 12:30, you have the Braves at the Pirates. Braves going for the sweep. Kyle Wright and Mitch Keller. The Braves are minus 260. The Pirates are plus 245. Over under 8.5. Over is minus 104. Under is minus 118. Braves minus 1.5 is minus 150. Pirates plus 1.5 is plus 125. I think the run line number is off, so I'm going to take Pittsburgh plus 1.5 at plus 125 just to keep that game close. 1 o'clock Giants, Tigers, Logan Webb, and Matt Manning. Giants minus 166, Detroit plus 140, over under 7.5, minus 110 each way. Giants minus 1.5 is even money. Detroit plus 1.5 is minus 120. Tough one. Logan Webb is so good. Matt Manning came back and was good. The first start, I'm going to go with the under and bank on the trend. 3 o'clock, the Rockies host the Rangers. Martin Perez and Jose Urena. Rangers minus 134, Rockies plus 114, over under 11, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 113, Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 142. For this one, I'm going to go with the under. 4 o'clock, Guardians at the Padres. Cal Quantrill and Blake Snell. Wait, did I skip a game? Yes, I did skip a game. 3:30, Marlins Athletics. Apologies, guys. Jesus Luzardo and Cole Irvin. Marlins minus 124. A's plus 106. Over under 7. Over is even money. Unders minus 122. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 146. A's plus 1.5 is minus 176. I'm going with Oakland. They're 60.9% to win according to ESPN Analytics, and they're plus 106. Now move on to the Guardians and the Padres. It's Cal Quantrill and Blake Snell. Padres minus 166, Guardians plus 140, over under 7.5, minus 110 each way. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 150. Padres minus 1.5 is plus 125. I'm going to go with the under again. I don't feel good about it. Nats Mariners. Anibal Sanchez and George Kirby. Mariners minus 320, Nats plus 260, over under 8, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Nats plus 1.5 is plus 125, Mariners minus 1.5 is minus 150. Nats run line. They'll be competitive. 7 o'clock, you have the White Sox at the Orioles on Fox Sports 1. Lucas Giolito and Spencer Watkins. White Sox minus 120, Orioles plus 102, over under 8.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 134. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 162. Wrong team's favorite. Orioles are 52.3% to win according to ESPN Analytics, and they're plus 102. Give me the Orioles straight up. Reds, Phillies. TJ Zook and Christopher Sanchez. Phillies minus 250. Reds plus 205. Over under 9. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 106. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 104. Phillies minus 1.5 is minus 115. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to lay the 1.5 with the Phillies on the run line at minus 115. Angels, Rays, Mike Myers and Shane McClanahan. Rays minus 290, Angels plus 235, over under 7, minus 110 each way. Angels plus 1.5 is plus 104, Rays minus 1.5 is minus 125. I'm going with the over. I don't trust Myers. Blue Jays, Red Sox from Fenway. Jose Barrios and Brayan Bello. Blue Jays minus 162, Red Sox plus 136, over under 9.5, minus 110 each way. Blue Jays minus 1.5 is minus 108, Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 111, over. Cardinals, Cubs at 8. Miles Mikolas and Luke Farrell making his debut for the Cubs. Cards are minus 215, Cubs plus 180, over under 9, by overs even money, unders minus 122. Cardinals minus 1.5 is minus 122, Cubs plus 1.5 is plus 102. Cubs run lines to pick. I want to go Cubs straight up, too, at plus 180, but I can't do it. I'm just going to go with them on the run line, plus 1.5 and plus 102 to be safe. Diamondbacks, Royals, Zach Gallen and Brady Singer. D-backs minus 130, Royals plus 110, over under 7.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. D-backs minus 1.5 is plus 138, Royals plus 1.5 is minus 166. Tough one. I'm going to go with the Royals on the money line, plus 110 to win outright. Twins, Astros, Dylan Bundy and Framber Valdez. Astros minus 240, Twins plus 198, over under 7.5. Overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Twins plus 1.5 is minus 11. Astros minus 1.5 is minus 108. I'm going to lay the run line with the Astros, minus 1.5 and minus 108. And last but not least, 9 o'clock, the Brewers at the Dodgers. An hour early of a start time for LA. Adrian Hauser and Andrew Heaney. Dodgers minus 260, Brewers plus 215, over under 8.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Brewers plus 1.5 is plus 106. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 128. For this one, I'm going to go with under 8.5 at minus 105. Okay, now I'll move on to the WNBA playoffs. We have one game to recap and one game to preview and predict. Last night from the Barclays Center, the Sky defeat the Liberty by a score of 90-72 to advance to the semifinals. Allie Quigley, 15 points, and Benijah Laney, 15 points in defeat. Every time the Liberty made this game close, Chicago pushed and pushed and pushed. So Chicago will face the winner of Connecticut, Dallas. Is that right? Let's see. They'll face the winner of, yes, the Connecticut Dallas winner. Which that game 3 will be tonight, 9 o'clock on ESPN, between the Sun and the Wings. My projection is Sun by 7.5 on the road. And it is 6.5 totals, 165.5. I like the over. There's rumors that Enrique Angumbali will be back tonight for Dallas, which is really good news for the Wings and gives them a good possibility of making things interesting tonight. They have a better chance with Enrique Angumbali than without. So that's great news that Dallas is getting her back potentially tonight. But the question is, will it really matter? I'm going to say no. In the grand scheme of things, it's great that she's back. It gives them a better chance to win. But I don't think they'll get it done even with her. I think Connecticut's better. I'm not going to touch the spread. I'm going to go over 165.5, though, is my pick for the podcast, as I think that Connecticut will win to take on the Chicago Sky in the semifinals. All right, now I'll move on to the Little League World Series. We have games to discuss from yesterday. We have another interesting window for today. Nicaragua over Panama, 8-1 elimination game. So Nicaragua is still alive. Pennsylvania over Indiana, 10-0 in 4. Pennsylvania is still alive. Curacao over Canada, 4-2. They're still alive. And Texas over Iowa, 4-0. They survive as well. 2 double elimination games and 2 regular elimination games. 1 o'clock on ESPN is Mexico and Chinese Taipei. I think Mexico is better. I want to see if there's odds on here for Little League. No. Not on FanDuel. Maybe DraftKings has them. But I really do like Mexico in this in the spot here. So I'm going to go with Mexico. 3 o'clock ESPN double elimination. Hawaii and Tennessee. Hawaii is so good. I think they're going to win this tournament. I almost picked them to win this tournament before the tournament started. So I'm going to go with Hawaii over Tennessee. 5 o'clock elimination game between Nicaragua and Curacao. Both these teams survived and advanced yesterday. And now they're playing against one another in an elimination spot. So I think both these teams have been very good. I think Nicaragua's been a little bit better offensively than I envisioned coming in. So I'm going to take them to survive and advance. And then another home game for Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, as they take on Pearland, Texas in an elimination spot. I'm going to say Texas wins. I think this magical journey for Pennsylvania will come to an end. So I'm going to say Texas will advance as well. All right, now I'll move on to my NFL guard rankings. As I was putting this list together, I realized that this position is weaker than it's been in year past for some reason. I don't know if that's just decline in some of these players or lack of talent at the position. But I came into this thing and there was way more talent at the guard position than there really was. So 64 players cracked the list. It's each team's projected starting left and right guards. All right, so without further ado, here we go. 64, Lester Cotton Sr., Raiders. 63, Spencer Buford, 49ers. 62, Cordell Volson, Bengals. 61, Aaron Banks, 49ers. 60, Coleman Shelton, Rams. 59, Elijah Wilkinson, Falcons. 58, Royce Newman, Packers. 57, Michael Jordan, Panthers. 56, Liam Eichenberg, Dolphins. 55, Tyler Shatlett, Jaguars. 55, Aaron Brewer, Titans. 53, Cole Strange, Patriots. 52, John Simpson, Raiders. 51, Luke Goedeke, Buccaneers. 50, Kenyon Green, Texans. 49, Zion Johnson, Chargers. 48, Tyler Smith, Cowboys. 47, Shane Lemieux, Giants. 46, Cesar Ruiz, Saints. 45, Jesse Davis, Vikings. 44, John Runyon, Packers. 43, Gabe Jackson, Seahawks. 42, Will Hernandez, Cardinals. 41, Andres Pete, Saints. 40, Ryan Bates, Bills. 39, Robert Hunt, Dolphins. 38, Michael Schofield III, Bears. 37, Kevin Dotson, Steelers. 36, Damian Lewis, Seahawks. 35, Halapavati Vayati, Lions. 34, David Edwards, Rams. 33, Danny Pinter, Colts. 32, Nate Davis, Titans. 31, Quinn Miniers, Broncos. 30, Austin Corbett, Panthers. 29, Justin Pugh, Cardinals. 29 is James Daniels, Steelers. 28, Justin Pugh, Cardinals. 27, Cody Whitehair, Bears. 26, Isaac Somalo, Eagles. 25, Trey Smith, Chiefs. 24, Matt Feeler, Chargers. 23, Jonah Jackson, Lions. 22, Andrew Norwell, Commanders. 21, Ezra Cleveland, Vikings. 20, Dalton Risner, Broncos. 19, Landon Dickerson, Eagles. 18, AJ Kahn, Texans. 17, Trey Turner, Commanders. 16, Ben Powers, Ravens. 15, Elijah Vera Tucker, Jets. 14, Laken Tomlinson, Jets. 13, Mark Lewinsky, Giants. 12, Alex Kappa, Bengals. 11, Roger Saffold, Bills. Top 10. At 10th, you have Brandon Scherf, Jacksonville Jaguars. 8, Joe Thuney, Kansas City Chiefs. 8, Kevin Ziegler, Baltimore Ravens. 7, Shaq Mason, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 6, Chris Lindstrom, Atlanta Falcons. 5, Wyatt Teller, Cleveland Browns. 4, Michael Onwenu, New England Patriots. 3, Quentin Nelson, Indianapolis Colts. 2, Joel Bitonio, Cleveland Browns. And number 1, Zach Martin, Dallas Cowboys. Zach Martin's been the best guard in the league over the past decade. He's been an absolute rock for the Cowboys, whether it was for Tony Romo and now for Dak Prescott and even the backup guys that came in through the years. So Zach Martin has a stranglehold to this number 1 spot until further notice. Bitonio's had a fabulous couple of seasons, so he deserves to be in the top 2. Quentin Nelson traditionally would be number 1, but he didn't have that great of a year last year by his standards. Onwenu is dealing with the position change. Wyatt Teller's been a mainstay on the Browns' offensive line. They have the best interior in the entire league, I think. Lindstrom is a player on the rise. Shaq Mason, back with Tom Brady. He, I think, is proven not to be a Brady product. Kevin Zeitler, really super underrated. Somebody I think that the Giants may regret letting go down the road. Joe Thuney, really solid player in the interior of the Chiefs' offensive line. And Brandon Scherf, new team, will help protect Trevor Lawrence. So there you have it, the 2022 NFL guard rankings. Tomorrow we'll be doing centers. All right, now we'll do primary results from yesterday. We'll start with Florida, and we'll start with their gubernatorial. Ron DeSantis was uncontested, as we knew. And your winner for the Democratic primary for the gubernatorial election for Florida, Charlie Crist, 59.7% of the vote, with 98% counted. You knew that Crist was going to win. He was the best nominee on the board on the Democratic side of Florida. And second place was Nikki Fried with 35.3% of the vote. So we had a couple of congressional districts that we have to talk about. So District 1, we'll start with. So Democrat winner Rebecca Jones, 62.6% of the vote, 99% counted. And Republican Matt Gaetz, 69.7% of the vote with 98% counted. District 4, LaShonda Holloway has a 0.4% lead on Anthony Hill, 50.2 versus 49.8 with 98% counted. So that might go into a special. We'll keep an eye on that one. That's close. And then Aaron Bean on the Republican side, 68.1% of the vote with 99% counted. District 7, Democratic winner, Karen Green, 44.9% of the vote with 98% counted. And then Corey Mills, 33.8% of the vote with 98% counted. 10. So Democratic winner, Maxwell Frost, 34.7% of the vote with 98% counted. And Calvin Wimbush wins Republican, 44.4% of the vote with 99% counted. 11. So your Democratic winner, Shane Munns, went uncontested. And Daniel Webster wins Republican, 51.1% of the vote and 99% counted, and he was the incumbent. So 13th. Your Democratic winner, Eric Lynn, uncontested. And then Republican winner, Anna Paulina Luna, 44.5% of the vote and 99% counted. District 15, your Democratic winner, 33.1% of the vote and 98% counted, Alec Cohn. Republican winner, Laurel Lee, 41.5% of the vote with 98% counted. District 20, Democratic winner, Sheila Turtlefulis McCormick, the incumbent, 65.6% of the vote with 99% counted. And then Drew Montez Clark went uncontested. District number 23. Your Democrat winner, 61.1% of the vote with 98% counted, Jared Moskowitz. We called that one on the show yesterday. And Republican winner, 98% of the vote counted, 37.6% of the vote, Joe Budd. And District number 27. Your Democratic winner, Annette Tadeo, 67.8% of the vote with 99% counted. And the Republican side, Maria Elvira Salazar, the incumbent, with 80.8% of the vote with 98% counted. So that was it for Florida. Oklahoma, very interesting for them. We have U.S. Senate and 2nd Congressional District to talk about. So the primary runoff, the Senate special Republican primary runoff, your winner with 98% of the vote counted, taking 65.1% of the vote, Mark Wayne Mullen, over T.W. Shannon, who had 34.9% of the vote. And in the 2nd District Republican primary runoff, 99% of the vote counted, 52.2% of the vote, Josh Burchine, and Avery Fricks, 47.8% of the vote. So that one was really, really close for the 2nd District for Oklahoma. All right, now move on to news and notes for today. We have a couple things to get into here. We'll start with basketball. The biggest news of yesterday, Kevin Durant will be staying with the Brooklyn Nets as he has withdrew his trade request. As Sean Marks released a statement saying that Durant has agreed to stay after meeting with the Nets brass in Los Angeles. So that is wonderful news for the Brooklyn Nets. They're very patient, I felt. I think that Kevin Durant is still a great player. I think that he is going to have a big chip on his shoulder. I think Brooklyn is going to be among the teams that'll be contending for the Eastern Conference crown in the NBA now, with Durant back in the fold for sure. You still have Kyrie, you have Ben Simmons, but my concern for Brooklyn is the depth behind the big three. I don't think it's as good as it used to be. I think Patty Mills is still there. I think that they did pick up somebody in free agency that made me think, oh, he'll help them. I just can't think of who it was. I know it wasn't PJ Tucker, that's for sure. But good job to Brooklyn for keeping him. And now it's going to be less of an awkward situation for Durant when he arrives at camp. And then Pat Beverly ripped the Nets situation, and then Durant quoted Pat Beverly, and that went viral. Some other basketball news that Zion Williamson will be playing in Pelican season opener against the Nets on October 19th after missing 17 months with foot surgery. That is wonderful news for the Pelicans. Zion's going to be back and ready to go and better than ever, I think. And I think he's going to have a big chip on his shoulder. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim may be sold, as Angels owner Arte Moreno says he's exploring selling the franchise after 20 years. So I'm not completely stunned about this. I don't think Moreno is that great of an owner. He is somebody that really tried to go for it year after year after year. Never was willing to rebuild. A lot of botched situations with LA, and not putting the right talent around Trout and Ohtani. Although there's been years where you're spending big money, but Albert Pujols turned out to be not that great of a deal. Justin Upton, not that big great of a deal. Josh Hamilton, he's had so many big acquisition misses over the years. I think his biggest hit as an owner, his two biggest hits, was the drafting of Mike Trout and the signing of Shohei Ohtani. So Artie Moreno to sell the Angels, potentially. I wonder how much they're worth. So, if the Angels are to be sold, a new owner's going to want to go in there and make them a viable contender and something for fans to root for, similar to what the Clippers went through, going from Sterling to Bomber. Fernando Tatis had a press conference. He says that he has failed and said he's let so many people down after he was suspended for PEDs. And Tatis says he'll undergo surgery on his left shoulder while serving his suspension. So that's really interesting as well. So really rough news for the Dodgers is that Walker Buehler is having Tommy John surgery, so he confirms on Instagram. He goes, "See ya when I see ya." So they're not going to happen for the rest of this season and all of next season probably. The Dodgers have to go out. If they don't win this year, they have to go out and get a pitcher, like a rental pitcher, to replace him for a year. That is just, they must have regrets right now not going to get Luis Castillo. This Dodgers team, I don't think, is going to win the World Series unless if they get continued contributions from Andrew Heaney and Tony Gonsolin, and I don't even trust Clayton Kershaw's health at this point either. So you could argue that the Dodgers screwed up the trade deadline. So Byron Buxton into the injured list with right hip strain for the Twins, who are chasing the Guardians for first in that division. So that's a loss for Vinny Pasquantino to the 10-day injured list with right shoulder discomfort, the rookie for the Royals. That's unfortunate. Carlos Correa says he could stay in Minnesota for a long time, as he says he could stay in Minnesota for a long time after this season. So if they keep him long term, that is wonderful for Minnesota. So Aaron Judge, great story, catches up with a fan who is a 4-time cancer survivor. So that is really, really neat. You love to see players and fans interact like this. And that is amazing for that young kid. Football news. Chase Young on the PUP and will miss at least the first 4 games of the season. So that is brutal news for the Washington Commanders. So Jamison Williams on the injured list as well as he recovers from the torn ACL. Elijah Mitchell on track for week 1 for the 49ers. That is great news. J.C. Jackson out 2 to 4 weeks with minor ankle surgery. So that's brutal for the Chargers' big free agent acquisition. And rookie defensive tackle Travis Jones out 3 to 5 weeks with a sprained knee. So these are brutal injuries for all of these teams. Some hockey news. Paul Stastny, 1 year, $1.5 million with the Carolina Hurricanes. That is a great signing for them from a depth standpoint. And the Arizona Coyotes to play at Mullet Arena, which is the new hockey rink at Arizona State. So that's pretty neat news for them. And Nick Saban gets a $93.6 million contract as he is now the highest paid coach again after the school approves an 8-year deal that expires in 2030. Nick Saban deserves to be the highest paid coach, arguably in all professional sports. He is that great. To me, he's the GOAT of all sports right now. Belichick and Popovich really, not that they've lost their luster, they're still great. But without Tom Brady and without the old big three and Kawhi Leonard, the Patriots and the Spurs aren't really contenders in their respective sports anymore. And now I think Saban, and with Coach K retired now too, I think that Saban has absolutely emerged as the very best coach in all of professional sports right now. All right, and last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Yesterday was a loser with me going with the Padres Guardians over. But I have a pick that I absolutely love, and it's the over between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Jose Barrios has been terrible this season, and Bayo isn't very good either. I think that the Blue Jays or the Red Sox could potentially do this by themselves. So I'm going to lay a half unit on over 9.5 between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox for my best bet of the day. That's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping all the games from today. Look ahead to everything tomorrow. We'll get into the Tour Championship on tomorrow's podcast as well. And we got news and notes and best bet for you as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.